am I here to hear this? So you may look at me, and when you look at me, the first thing that would hit you is probably something very physical, like every man does. She's beautiful, intelligent, she can hold down the house and blah, blah, blah. So it's not hard for me to get married. I have many suitors. Right, many suitors of all walks of life, of all gender, right? But I'm not boasting in flesh, but men would look and think that what they see is something physical, but by the time the suitors get to realize that this is a deep woman of God, they run, they drop off, because I'm like a rocket that is going up. I am, right? So long story short, I came from Jamaica, fell in love with the kid's father, beautiful guy, everything that I wanted. Let me tell you, I cannot find another man to date that is like my ex-husband. If he buys wine, he has wine glass, cork opener, the date plan, the car open, the outfit ready. So all I had to be was feminine and just float, you know? But things got to rock bottom. I was coming out of a previous divorce, had a miscarriage, didn't deal with myself. And poor Gardner ended up with Debbie Miller Curtis. And we brought out the worst in each other. If you can think of it, fighting, calling police, and this little girl, she is, I don't know what God is gonna have her do, because she has witnessed it all. But to God be the glory. Let me tell you, we triumph over our situations. Whatever bad, disgraceful, terrible, we spent 5 days in court in a divorce. And guess what? Yeah, and it was let me tell you, I've never been grilled in my life like that. I don't know what they saw in me, but I was the breadwinner. Ladies, you have a responsibility. You can share some tasks, but you can't wear the pants of taking care of the household and always paying your bills and having it together and still be feminine. Men are looking for someone feminine. So I became a boss lady at home. My husband didn't recognize who he was married to. Nothing feminine, because what? The bills gotta be paid. Kids gotta be raised. I gotta get it all done. Okay? So if he says, I'm like, why are you saying, because I'm just upset. I'm not supposed to be working like that. Come on. Taking care of every bills. I stepped into Gardner's role and he became help me with the word. Demasculated. Why? Because we get the roles confusing, and it was only supposed to be short term. So in the court, I was the man on the stand, and they grilled me. $10,000 for your husband first degree, $10,000 for his second degree. That's the debt. All the household debt goes to you. The house goes to you. And you need to reinstate your husband to the position that he was. Guys, if you come from Jamaica, you know, so you're not going to put up with that. I was livid, bitter, angry. And I said, God, I heard the Spirit. Those days I used to, because we are not delivered from everything when we are saved. Not delivered from everything when we're saved. And sometimes it's through the pruning you're going to see your real self. Sometimes you see your real self through your spouse. That's why them annoy you so much, because you can't see yourself. The reason why you're attracted in the first place, because you know, trauma bond. Come on, whether or not you see it or you know it, there's some familiar spirit that know each other that show up, and we went and we got married, yeah, and then we bring forth children, yeah. Let me tell you, it went on, and my husband, no court system. And don't hurt that man, because the sweet side of him will turn bitter. I could not fight that man. And I said, first of all, we're dealing with the kids. I can't fight the kids of my father, because that's going to be their brain, their mental stuff. So all I wanted to do was to get out of court. And I remember when I cried when they said all of the stuff that I had to pay and I had to do, thrown out of house, cars walk, house walk. I was the breadwinner, lose my job in the same. Let me tell you something, guys. The goodness of God is awesome. 1 year, in like 6 months, 3 cars walk through the house. The best job that I had in the city fired me. Are you kidding me? And I'm still standing? Oh my God, the minds of my kids went. Let me tell you, serious warfare. Serious warfare. Wasn't a Gardner story. Was a warfare. The enemy does not like marriages. Do not allow him in your marriage. Do not allow him in your marriage. We never had any problems that was more than any problems that any couple face. No problems that I never caught him with a woman, because that's maybe the biggest problem out there. I never caught him with a woman. We didn't have infidelity problems. We had communication problems, money problems, and stuff like that. But let me tell you, the enemy will sift you like wheat. And when there is a plan upon your life, and sometimes, because if God had asked the neighbor, if it was the neighbor that come and did all of these things, it wouldn't affect me that much. No, but it was my very husband and I. We were going at it. And the Lord said, Debbie, I'm going to teach you how to be a faithful wife. Oh God Almighty. It looked so stupid. We went through the court. My husband seems changed. He came back to me. We talked, and I took back my husband, because I was thinking about my kids, and I was just thinking about the years that I invested, and I was just thinking about all the things. One of the biggest things too is loneliness. You know, you open the barrel of that S word, and you know, we are all big people here, and didn't want to be lonely. So I said, oh God, my husband looks so attractive. But it wasn't for all of that, because I'm not married to my husband. But the respect that I have for Gardner, it is so much, because we've learned to respect ourselves. You can't respect someone if you don't respect yourself. And anything that you see in your husband, it is very present in you as well. I know you're not going to want to take it like that, but if it is in your husband, it is also in you. That's why you're attracted. That's why you put together. That's why you work by each other. Yes, I had to humble myself. I will not marry back to Gardner. God, I will not marry back to Gardner. I want a different husband. I want a different husband from a different culture. A multi-faceted husband in warfare. And that's what I am. I just talked to the Spirit. My husband, there are many changes that I've seen in my husband. People, can you change? Have you changed? Will you change? Have you noted remarkable change in your life? Do you think you're any more special in the kingdom than males? No. And the reverse. Do you think you are any more special with any more authority than females in the sight of God? Absolutely not. And he's no respecter of gender. Absolutely not. So if I can change, you can change, your daughter can change, and the ones where you really, really love can change, and your husband where you hate so much and which God could have killed him. I've devised plans upon plans that would not lead. I said, God, if you could just blah, 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 blah. And then I said, God, you're not going to answer that prayer, because that prayer is me. Terrible me. Please forgive me. But if you can change, change begins with you. Guys, my ex-husband called me for relationship advice. We have the most. My daughter said, "Mom, when my ex-husband, when Daddy speak about you, he speaks about you as a woman of valor." My ex-husband, we never used to get along, none at all. But with Jesus Christ, that man has caused me. I never know I could pray so much. I never know that I could trust in God so much. I never know that I could give up so much of me. You know how much time I did? In the spirit. Because some things is your spouse, God put on together for to refine each other. I don't know who I'm speaking to tonight. But don't give up on your marriage. If you're not there together, we're not there together for a reason. No matter how the person stay, if you did stay good, you'd have bring out the best part. I had managed some people when I tell you, say, Mr. God, where you seen me, why you'd have make that person here come to my office. Same way. But you see, when the award day come, and God start to award those people, and you see how them change, because guess what, you have to take them to God in prayer, and you see the change on them. Let me tell you something. Do that for your husband and your wives, right? Some days I wish, I said, Gardner said, Debbie, if you was that same woman, this woman you are today, if 32, whatever, when you were 32 and I walk you down the aisle, will we still be married? I said, you divorced me. I was very committed. Even though we quarrel and we were blah, 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 me never leave you. I stood there, right? So the long and short of it is that God can change people and Him can change you. Any amount of change where you see need to happen next door, it also need to happen to you. We are parallel, we're interrelated, and we are one. So anything you see on Debbie, they say, oh my God, no look too far. Look, God assure you. Yeah, in Debbie, because we are connected and we are one. We can become soft. It doesn't mean I'm a powerful powerhouse in corporate America. When I take the stand, people call, I don't apply to jobs. I bargain with God and said, God, I need to be at Fulton Bank. Somebody will call me from Fulton Bank and tell me to come to their job. And I'm not boasting in myself, I'm boasting in the gift of God. Because I did not give myself these talents that I have. And the long and short of it, what I'm saying to you, is that when you trust, you can submit yourself even to a man who don't understand their purpose yet. Because the fact that God joined on together is that He's about, it's all things will work together for my good, because for what? His name's sake, His own name's sake. He will not let you, and unless that man walk out, stand your ground in prayer. In prayer, things will change. You know why things change? Because of your belief. Yeah, my husband looked at me, he saw a guy that I went out to date, and he looked at me and he said, Debbie, any man get you will be proud. My ex-husband would write me a compliment. A compliment would be too much for him to give me, because he probably think that this woman have so much, and if me go put anything else, it'll go just whatever. I don't know how he processed that. But last week, 2 weeks ago, I went out on a date, and my husband was at the house when we were going out, and he said to me, Debbie, you will make any man a proud man. He said, when I used to walk with you, I never saw that though. When I used to walk with you, I felt so proud that nothing, I was 6 feet tall. He's 5'8". Yeah. He said I was so tall. He was invincible. That's the kind of power that we as women have. Was it half an hour for everybody? I end.